The reason this question is so important all boils down to a question asked by John Maynard Keynes, which is, do you want to be precisely wrong or vaguely right? And there's an enormous danger that an awful lot of technological investment is based on an assumption about what people want that's fundamentally wrong. It's obsessed with kind of a very narrow definition of perfect efficiency, which may be an awfully long way from what we instinctively like. The problems you face there are, one, that economics has some very strong assumptions about what's valuable, which are psychologically misplaced. Also combined with the fact that the people who work in the tech industry aren't always representative of wider humanity, and a fundamental truth of all of us is that we don't completely know what we want anyway.
Press pause on our lives where we're worried about whatever it is that we're worried about and ponder a slightly larger question, and in so doing reflect back on what it is that we do on a daily basis, but with a more open mind and with an understanding of other people's viewpoints. So I think this is something that we don't do enough of. We are inundated with lots of information, but focusing everything down to one question and looking at it from myriad angles, I feel is a really positive thing, and I wish this event all the best success in the future.
It's so important for people who work in technology industries to be brought into a single space like this, because away from our glowing rectangles, we can learn so much more about what we're doing, what people are working on in fields that we haven't even had access to before, and we learn more face to face than we're ever going to learn through a GIF or a text message.
I think it's really important to have the type of conversation we've had today in this environment, because technology is a really fast-paced sector, and taking the time out of your busy day to think about some of the things that are important, it's the small things that really make a difference. And I think humanity is an important part of what we do. It isn't replaced by technology, and I think we've really got to focus on that in a different way.
So for me, I mean, a conference like this is brilliant because we live in a society that's so driven by technology. We all see technology as being the best thing, it's something we have to embrace, but we have to sometimes question it. We have to ask ourselves, is the technology enabling us, or is it becoming our master? So to get everybody together to actually discuss that and discuss the rights and wrongs of where we're heading, for me is vital.
We don't ask enough big enough questions. Like, technology can do all these wonderful things, but we don't often get down to how can this actually change things for the better? How can it have a measurable impact on something? It gives us a reason to get out of bed. So since we started the day talking about Steve Jobs and some of the things that Apple has done in the past, let me finish with one of my favorite quotes. I think it sums up everything that today's been about. Technology is nothing. What's important is that people are good and they're smart, and if you give them the best tools, they're going to do something wonderful with them.